Hey everybody, we're going to show you a little supercut here of what's going on at church during first hour. Our church is broken up into... Hold on. Good. Are you okay? Turn on the light. Turn on the light. Oh no.
It's a T-Rex.
Guys, quiet down. Alistair, get back.
Please don't turn down the chairs.
No car shows is ruined. Maybe I'll fix it.
He wants to stay in there. It makes him feel comfort.
He's in! Ow, he's stuck.
Alistair,
Don't hurt him.
He did it.
Do you need help?
Alistair, are you stuck?
He's stuck.
No, he got stuck.
Yeah, he's trying to get inside.
Okay, just let him in so we can get through.
There you go.
Get out! Get out!
That's scary.
If someone comes in, I cry.
Come here. Come on, Alistair. Okay, go around. Go around. Come on, hold my hand.
Do you want to know the story?
No!
Hold my hand.
To a woman?
No!
Just a little
Come on. No. You're going to come out. You're going to come out. He just wants to be left alone.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Jesus sent to this woman at the well. My head hurts.
What's wrong with your head?
I don't know. I'm trying to turn myself.
It's just in pain?
Yes, pain. On my head.
Oh, I'm sorry, bud.
I'm
No. Mommy needs to prepare for her lesson.
No,
So we're just going to sit here.
Make it.
Quiet. Come here. Back up. Back up. No, he doesn't want to. Come on.
He doesn't want you, okay?
Come on. Up. On your feet. On your feet. Help Daddy out.
Just calm down.
Help Daddy out. Get on your feet.
Stop growling at me.
I would just leave, but I have to give a small presentation
I'm
on
just
what
growling.
autism is to their class.
Don't growl at me.
And we got about 20 more
Make your own
minutes
tent.
before I give the presentation, so we just got to tough it out.
Guys, make your own or else.
How's your head
I'll ruin
feeling?
My tent.
Well, pretty good now.
Out.
Well, I am a high gamer.
What is going on? No, Connor, you said you didn't want to be in there anymore, so he can go in.
I'll be here.
Do you not get I'll call Shirk, okay? Shirk from High Warriors.
Okay.
Look,
Hey. Don't bang the chairs. Stop it.
you're gonna hurt Connor.
Put them flat.
Put him flat. Yikes! You almost hurt us.
Hey,
Yikes!
that is enough. Get out of there.
No.
Get out. So basically, what you saw was a supercut of what it's like during our sacrament meeting. Sacrament, for those of you who don't know, in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, yes, that's a mouthful, we have a sacrament hour, which is basically kind of like communion or the Lord's Supper to other churches like Catholics and Methodists. And that's the most difficult part for us of church because we don't have anywhere to bring our kids. The way it's designed in our church is families sit together. Family is very important to us in our faith, and so we try to bring everyone together in one room. So that's a very good thing. It's a very positive thing. The downside to it is if your kids have autism and maybe the organ's playing too loudly or they're distracted, it can just create all sorts of different interesting scenarios where we have to get them out of sacrament. And that's why you see us waiting in a room. Generally, that's when we had to take the kids out and get them to calm down. No, it's not like that for our entire church. Unlike other faiths, we do have 3 hours where we worship. The other 2 hours are in Sunday school. So there's usually like a group Sunday school and then individual classes. And our kids right now have been doing great in their individual classes because they have teachers who, we had a big meeting and they said, how can we help? They were very, very supportive and wanted to help us out. And so they're going to call some aides specifically for our kids. Now, it is important to mention in our faith also, we don't have a paid clergy, which the great aspect of that is it's very hard to corrupt people who are volunteers. So they're not just lining their pockets full of people's money. I'm not saying people who are paid clergy do that, but in some cases, corruption has taken place. So in our faith, that doesn't happen. The drawback to that is there's not like a daycare. Some of you have asked about a daycare type facility to bring the kids, when they're being rowdy, things like that. We just have volunteers. Now, there are classes we can take them to, but it's not the same as like a dedicated daycare for autistic kids, like some faiths have. Another aspect to it is in meeting with this group, that we basically told them, if you need to come grab us, if you don't know what to do, and we give them basic instructions what to do, like have their blanket on hand, have their headphones. But if they just don't know how to handle the situation, we're just like, come take us out of class. You know, we'll walk them home if we have to. We're really close. The church is just down our block. So that is something that we've arranged. So it's gotten better. It's gotten worse. Better in the sense of things are better at Sunday school. They're fitting in more. They're making more friends. We also had basically just a little session with their teachers where we talked about other kids bullying our kids. Because I think there was like one or two kids in the class who started to give our kids a hard time, making fun of them, things like that. And so we had a discussion with the class and just opened it up to questions and things about autism. So most of the kids were pretty respectful when they learned more about our kids' conditions and what's going on in their lives. And so that was a huge help. Anyway, sorry if it's kind of cut up and everything like that. My poor wife's arms are getting tired. Probably should have put this on a tripod. Anyway, another question people had is, don't you guys have like one of those plexiglass barriers or those glass window barriers where they take fussy children? Back in our old church in Ogden, Utah, they did have one of those. I think the church was built in like the 1940s, and they still had those little kind of nursery areas where if kids are crying, they could take them back behind the glass. And so they could still see what was going on. They had a little microphone and speaker so they could still listen to the sermons and things like that. Unfortunately, in a lot of the modern buildings, they don't have that anymore. I kind of miss them, honestly, not just for autism, but for, just babies who are crying. It's a very helpful thing to have. So unfortunately, we don't have those anymore. But yeah, we also have talked about going to a special needs ward. So that is still a possibility. We'll see what goes on with that. But long story short, that's what's going on. Things are getting better. Things are getting worse. But hopefully overall things are getting better. We'll just continue trucking on and see how things go. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them as always. And thanks for watching.